Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I call the July 17th meeting of the Human Rights Commission to order. Let us begin with an introduction of commission members.
Xavier Welty, Commission Member.
Sekou Sirleaf, Chair of the Commission.
Krista Nelson, Commission Member.
Carolyn B. Kraft, Commission Member.
Arias Kara, Commission Member.
And we have,
Nancy Boyle, Commission Member.
thank you, Nancy. I was just about to introduce you. Okay. Thank you. We have to approve the agenda of our meeting. The next item is to approve the agenda of our meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Saku, can I jump in? We're just still getting the item 6 of Strong Towns presentation uploaded. Can we just switch 6 and 7 around?
Perfect.
Thank you.
Can I get a second to approve the meeting?
Second.
Second.
Motion has been moved to approve the agenda of the meeting by Caroline B. Kraft, seconded by Xavier Worthy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the sign. Motion carried. The next item is to approve the minutes of the June 17, 15 regular meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Motion has been moved by Caroline B. Kraft and seconded by Kristen Nelson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say sign. Motion carried. The next item on our agenda is to discuss our strategic planning, discussion on strategic planning. We had a great meeting last month to discuss our strategic plan. From that discussion, we have two strategic priorities. First is enhancing meaningful community engagement. And the second is the City of Fargo Human Rights Commission, Unity in Action. Do we have any discussion on those?
So Saku, I apologize with me being out. I'm a little behind today, so I apologize. So really what we're gonna do is keep that item on the agenda and keep discussing it as we try and move those two initiatives forward. And so I'll continue to work with the board as we keep working towards those two initiatives.
Good. So you don't want us to have any discussion on that today?
You're more than welcome. I think we need to keep it on the agenda so
Sure.
we keep talking about it and how we're progressing. One of the things I'm thinking about is last meeting, we had a bunch of different events that we're getting our booth at. And so we are working very diligently to get ourselves out into the community at, I think as many events as we can have the booth there and have it staffed.
Sounds good. Anybody wants to chime in?
So, yeah, on the basis of that, are we open as a committee to invitations from the community for community programs and other stuff like that people can invite us to be a part of it?
Definitely, we're working on something like that, and that is why we started from today's meeting, because we want to, apart from being invited by the community, we also want to invite the community. So going forward from today's meeting, every meeting, we invite a section of the immigrant population within Fargo. That's why today we invited the Liberian community. Next meeting, we'll invite another community. So we want to reach out to all of these communities as part of our outreach missions.
Yeah.
And so, we'll be hearing from the Liberian community today, and then next time we'll hear from maybe Somali community, Bhutan, Philippines. We want to do that. So if they don't invite us, we can also invite them.
Sounds good.
Yep, Sylvia, you wanted to?
No, yeah, I think you explained it pretty well.
Nancy?
Apologies, what was that?
Do you have any addition to the discussion?
I do not.
Thank you. Then we can move on. All right. Thank you. So we'll keep this on the agenda and we'll be discussing it from time to time. So that takes us to item number 5. I don't want to get in trouble here, but we have Sean here, so I'll just leave out the last name, Sean. So we have Sean here, and he will be presenting on the Fargo rental processes here. So Sean, you have the floor. Thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you very much. And my name is Sean Radnick. I'm the inspections director for the city here. And we have the rental inspection program. And basically what we do is we go through as many rental units as we can in a year to make sure that they're up to minimum life safety standards and clean and sanitary standards. So just to throw a few numbers at you of how busy we are with this program, in 2025 so far we've done 1,013 inspections. We've done 135 complaint investigations, and we have over 4,700 active rental licenses within our system to check. Like I said, we make sure that we have the minimum standards that are being provided for each tenant. We enforce the International Property Maintenance Code as adopted by the City Commission, as well as portions of the Land Development Code. We inspect the life safety and the maintenance issues that we look for are smoke detectors, exterior weather barriers like paint or siding that's missing or damaged, structural issues within the buildings themselves, egress or exiting to make sure everybody can get out if there is an event, a fire event or something, everybody gets out safely, and firefighters can get in and take care of things. Mechanical things we look at is like bath fans, furnaces, AC units. We also look at kitchen hoods, ventilation, and making sure that the units are heated properly for the winter. Electrical, we look at outlets, electric heating and lighting and things just to make sure that they're not, we don't see any safety issues with that, to make sure that nobody's going to get hurt. Plumbing, we look for slow drains, water backup, sewer backup, things like that, just to make sure that, it's staying sanitary and that somebody's not living in a condition that could cause them harm. We also look at the exterior of the structures. Like I said, we look at the siding and the weather barriers in the exterior, but we also look for junk and garbage, junk vehicles, things like that. We look for overcrowding as part of the Land Development Code. So we look at if there's more than 3 unrelated people in a unit, they need to reduce that number. We also look at land use violations. So if somebody's doing something in their property that they're not supposed to be doing by the way of the LDC, we cite them for that as well. We look for unpermitted work, especially in single-family homes. They like to change the basements into a unit and not let anybody know, and many times it does not meet minimum standards. Clean and sanitary issues in each unit, such as if there's hoarding or if there's, water issues, anything like that, we look for those things, as well as bug infestation, rodent infestation, things like that. And we also actually, through our rental program, we inspect the home daycares as well. Mm-hmm. We work with multiple departments. We work with planning, engineering, everybody across the board, as well as state entities and outside entities to try and make sure that everything's going well. We typically look at each property about every 3 years. Unless there's significant issues, then we will make sure that we're looking at that property more often to make sure that they're maintaining it and keeping things going. We also do not look at any structures that are newer than 20 years. Typically with building codes and things and the way people maintain structures, 20 years is when things start to deteriorate to a significant enough amount that we may end up encountering some violations and things. But that's not to be said we don't look at newer buildings. If we get complaints or something from tenants, we definitely go check them out and follow up on everything and follow up with property management and owners to make sure that they are correcting any violations we've found. And we have our inspection team for the rental inspections and daycares is 2.5 people, we say. So we have 2 full-time rental inspectors, as well as one of our residential inspectors does it half of the time, and so he helps fill in and maintain the gaps and stuff. So in a nutshell, that's kind of our program. We work, like I said, with different entities within the state and everything, and within the city to make sure that we're keeping these places safe and habitable for people to be able to rent and live in relative safety and sanitary conditions. If you have any questions or anything, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
As far as citing landlords and property management companies, what's the time frame as far as the landlords and property management companies?
Typically, depending on the infraction, so if it's something that's very serious that could cause a major life safety issue, we'll make them do something with it right away. We may even ask them to vacate the building. But if it's something like there's a bath fan that's not working, we try and give them about 30 days to get it either repaired or get things scheduled so they can get it repaired. Now, sometimes with the construction industry, if you have to replace a window, redo some siding or something like that, some of those things get back ordered and it takes longer. So we try and work with the owners or the property management to make sure that things are being taken care of. Our ultimate goal is compliance as quickly as possible.
What are the like effects if they don't get these requirements done at a certain time? Or
So if we ask them to take care of a violation and they don't take care of that violation or don't communicate with us about a time frame for that violation within basically 15 to 30 days, depending on the violation, we will go out and do another inspection. After our second re-inspection, we actually start feeing them $150 per inspection, and we will do those inspections daily until they comply. And if they don't comply and we feel that what we're doing is not enough, then we do actually incorporate the city attorney and see what we can do about forcing them legally to get these things taken care of.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you for your presentation. It was very informative. Obviously, you know apartment buildings, that's obvious. But what about homes? I mean, how do you keep track of them? Do they voluntarily come from you to you and say, we're going to rent? Or because how do you even know half of the people that are renting their homes?
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a way to actually force people to tell us what homes are. We have implemented some new things in the code that will hopefully remedy this, because we are going to require a secondary certificate of occupancy to be able to rent anything in the city of Fargo. As of right now, before that's implemented, it's usually pretty easy to actually find out, because we will receive complaints from neighbors if they're seeing something. We will, property management companies will tell us what's going on most of the time if they're going to be handling some of these units. And a lot of owners actually will come in and let us know what's going on. Hey, we're going to use this as a rental. What do we got to do? Because I don't know if there's some kind of incentive or something attached to some of these things, but yeah, there's not a lot of them out there that we don't know about, I would say.
So basically, it's a voluntary situation. If let's talk about a small older home somewhere, and somebody buys it because their kids are going to college, which I think is probably not unusual. And absent a complaint, you don't really know, right?
Typically not, but like I said, we are implementing some code changes and stuff within the codes that are going to require you to have an inspection and a secondary CO before you can rent any unit. Okay. So if they don't have that secondary CO and they're renting a unit, then they're in violation of the law, and we'd have to pursue it in that aspect.
I'm aware that Grand Forks has a rental agency, and I think when we spoke earlier, you said Fargo does not.
No. So Grand Forks' program has actually been there for about 50 years. And with the certificate of occupancy that I'm talking about, that is their biggest tool to gain compliance.
Right.
If they don't have that certificate of occupancy, they can't rent the unit. And in speaking to the staff up there in Grand Forks and stuff, they have never actually had to rescind one of those secondary certificate of occupancies. Their procedure, and a procedure we would follow here too, is if the owner of the property or the property management group would not want to actually fix violations and stuff and want to just keep things the way they are, then what we do is send letters to all of the tenants telling them that they're going to have to move because we're going to rescind this CO. Usually that pressure is enough to get the owners to actually take care of things and get things moving.
So then how do you know who's renting? I mean, you said letters to the people that are in the house that is being rented. How do you know who they are?
We can, through tax records and things like that, we can find out things. We also have access to water records. We can talk to different utilities and stuff and find out who's paying the bill. If it's not anybody that's paying a bill, then we will post it on the doors, post it on the building itself.
So what happens to all the displaced tenants who have to move?
There is language within the century code, the state of North Dakota, with tenants' rights and owners' rights. And usually there's legal services and things that are attached to those tenants and owners' rights. And we direct them to that information to make sure. Typically, you know, unless it's something where we have to order everybody out, like if we were going to take a CO away, then we would give plenty of time to make sure that everybody's finding a spot to go. We'd help them and assist them where we can, do what we can to make sure that they're taken care of before we take any major action.
So, do you have any information about the university building and that building that got shut down due to poor management?
Yeah, so University Manor.
I believe so.
Yeah, actually, we were the department that hung the dangerous building tags on that. They have actually taken care of everything and are about ready to start renting units again. What alerted us to that one was complaints from the tenants within, and as well as our inspectors doing their annual inspections on that building. There's been a host of issues, maintenance issues and things with that building. It's pretty lengthy and I don't want to try and get into it here. There was some property management issues and things like that, there was not a lot of communication with the owner and things. So that was a major issue in it. As soon as we started seeing the things that were going to constitute us stepping in, we implemented a plan. We started talking to different entities and stuff to make sure that they knew what was going on before we did it. And then they tried to get people housing waivers and things like that to make sure that they were taken care of and not just kicked out on the street. Our goal is not to put anybody out on the street and make them homeless. Our goal is to make sure that they have a safe place to live. And whatever we can do with any outside entities to make sure that that happens is what we do.
Awesome. I know a lot of people were kind of concerned about where those people went, so thank you.
I mean, we applaud you for the job well done out there. I know you did mention you have 125 complaints. I just wanted to know the success rate in terms of the complaints. And here at the HRC, we are more concerned about human relations. So we wanted to know, I know you clearly stated that if the landlords are not in compliance, there are regulatory fees that comes along with them. We are more concerned also with regards to the tenants. Are there situations whereby landlords are not in compliance with regulations, and what impact it has on the tenant, and what are you doing to address those issues?
So when we receive complaints and stuff, it's kind of hard to show a success rate on it because it tends to be ongoing. Sometimes it's complaints from tenants that are looking to break a lease and they've caused an issue themselves and tried to get management to break the lease and get us to come in and say that the unit can't be used because I broke the bath fan or something like that, or the window won't open, things like that. Within our codes and stuff, we have certain things that we have to look at. So those things are minor issues, basically, that as long as the landlord's taking care of it, we're not going to tell them they have to break a lease or anything. We're not going to give them a letter saying it's an inhabitable unit. Most of our complaints are pretty factually based, and we check them out, and we work with the tenant or the landlord and the property managers to get things taken care of. And I would say 95% of our property managers and owners will take care of things quickly. They will work on a plan with us to make sure things are remedied. Most of them will actually talk to the tenants and stuff too. If we show up, they'll talk to the tenants to find out what's going wrong if the tenants haven't already explained it to them. A lot of our complaints come from something that the tenants actually have not communicated with their owner or property manager. So we tell them, okay, put it in writing and date it, give it to them, and if they don't do anything within a couple of weeks or a month, depending on what it is, we'll come back and we'll make them do something. And like I said, it will be feeing, and that's $150 a day every time we would go there and take a look at it. And if they don't want to comply with that, then we go through the court system.
I mean, I get your point. I think from your explanation, it does shows that there are success rates with the complaints. Maybe it's just about tailoring them down to have a fixed figure to say these are success rates, because I'm trying to believe there are resolutions that comes with these complaints. Like you stated, you found ways and means to address these issues, and I don't want to believe all of these issues have not been addressed. I want to believe there are some instances that have been taken care of. And so those could be counted as success rates. Because statistically, from you, if you are able to give 125 complaints, you also give a tally of 13,000 inspections done, then we should be able to have success rates in terms of complaint management. So if that's something you have been looking up to, I would just recommend that you also take that into place.
So one of our challenges with being able to show you a success rate is our actual software program. We can't tally up a success rate. I can show you how many inspections we did, how many passed, how many failed, and how many are ongoing, but that's not really a success rate for us. Success rate for us is when we get a property 100% done. There are no more complaints, everything's good for the tenants. That's our success rate. And if I had to put a number on it, I would say we're at 90 to 95%. We do have probably 5 to 10% of some of the owners out there that don't like us on the property, they won't let us on the property. There's obvious violations and they just won't work with us. Even though we keep trying, we try and let the tenants know, hey, you have rights. We point them to the state website and stuff like that as much as we can to say, you guys have rights. There's legal help here. There's all kinds of things here that you can tap into to make sure that things are okay. If we can't get it done, maybe you can, and we try and work with them. So we're very, I don't want to say we're tenant focused, but we are very focused on making sure that people are okay where they're living.
Thank you. I think you're doing a fine job.
You know, sometimes I think a lot of times people don't want to reach out to the city, even if they're in dangerous places, is because they don't know where they're going to go next. So, yeah, I mean, I guess, does the city you guys deal with finding the different properties and different homes for the people, or you guys just outsource it to other?
We try and put them in touch with resources where they can do that.
Okay.
So like there's Fargo Public Housing and things like that, Fargo Cast Public Housing, we try and put them in touch with them or any other entities that we may know. We've worked with actually quite a few people across the state to make sure that things are taken care of. On the University Manor side, I think we worked with 3 different coalitions throughout the state to make sure that things were taken care of. Fargo Housing did do a very heavy lift on that and did take care of a lot of it. But they also, these other entities helped facilitate moving things and getting people out and making sure things were done properly and successfully for them. And I think there was actually everybody that was in there, with the exception of maybe one person, but I think they got housing too. They were all housed by the time that they needed to be out of there. And we also worked with them on a timeline, even after we hung the dangerous building signs, to make sure that people had a little bit of time to get out of there. We weren't going to go in there and start kicking down doors and booting people out that day. They said, take a little bit of time and get out of here because this is not sanitary for you to be living in.
See.
So, I wanted to, because we're tight on time, I think we can bring Sean back again for another interactions. I also have some questions. Nancy, do you have any questions on this matter?
Where can we reach you if?
Yeah.
You can just call the inspections department and just ask to speak to the director, Sean Radnick, and you can talk to me about it. If you want to come into my office, I'm usually in there. I won't be there tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday, but the rest of the time I'm usually in my office and you can set a meeting with me or just come in and talk.
Awesome, thank you.
Nancy, do you have any, you want to chime in on this?
I just had one really quick question. And when you had spoke initially, Sean, as far as going through doing the inspections and meeting minimal standards, was the list you gave us an example of those minimal standards, or is there a list we could get our hands on, be able to review that, anything along those lines?
Well, we don't really have a list. What we have is our book, the International Property Maintenance Code, and this book has all of our minimum standards in it, as well as the residential codes and some of the commercial codes and stuff too that we have to look at. Those have the minimum standards in it. If I had to make a list of it, it would be a very long list, and most people would probably get pretty bored by the time they got to the end of it. But there's a lot of things that our inspectors look at when they're on a property. If anything from carpet that might be soiled to stair height to, making sure there's deadbolt locks on doors. There's all kinds of stuff that they look at. If there's any questions about, do you guys look at this? Do you look at that? I know the inspectors and I are very open to phone calls and questions. So if you do have any questions, we're more than happy to answer them.
Greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Sean.
Do you have any business card with you, and how do we get hold of the copy of the book?
I don't have a business card with me, but I can go get some and bring them back.
How do we get a copy of the books? Do we have to purchase it, or
The book you'd have to purchase it, but there is a copy in the auditor's office that you can go look at for free. And they might have copies in the library, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
will you be open to coming back for our August meeting?
Yes, and if you guys have any specific things you'd like to bring me back, just let me know, and I'd definitely come back.
We appreciate that because I also have a ton of questions that I want to ask. But yep, we have 2 other presentations to go through. So thank you for coming, Sean, and we definitely will keep you on the agenda for our August meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Brenda, do you still want us to swipe 6 and 7, or are we good?
I think the presentation is ready and uploaded if Arlette's ready.
Okay. So we'll go right to item number 6, and that is a presentation from Strong Towns Fargo. And our former Deputy Mayor, Arlette Preston, is here for that presentation. Arlette, you have the floor.
Thank you, Commissioners, for allowing me to be here today. I am here in capacity for the Strong Towns Fargo group, which I am a member of. The chair of the group couldn't make it today, so I appreciate you allowing me to be on the agenda. So Strong Towns Fargo is a local effort that is connected with a national organization, actually based out of Brainerd, Minnesota. And the mission for the national group is really to try to influence the development patterns in the American cities, in the entire nation, towards a development pattern that is more resilient and financially sustainable. In that is making cities more livable and safe, as well as healthy. So I'm going to talk a bit about what we have decided to focus on the local level and how that impacts people of lower income as well as some communities of color, and which is, I think, a little more pertinent probably to your interest group. So the goal of the local group is really to promote active transportation, which can be biking, walking, skateboarding, whatever, to reduce car-related injuries as well as negative health impacts. So just real briefly, some of the differences, or trying to explain what the difference is between a car-centric kind of city versus a walkable, at least, neighborhood. So the walkable and bikeable neighborhood, by all means, as a base level, really has to have well-maintained infrastructure, which is sidewalks, crosswalks, and bike lanes. And then the other piece is mixed-use development, and the city of Fargo has really tried to, and the developers are starting to move towards that kind of development, meaning the residential is mixed right in with commercial, and it allows for access to services much more easily. Pedestrian and bicycle-friendly design. That design, and I don't know how well informed you are about the growth plan, but the neighborhood centers, or the neighborhoods that have been identified in the growth plan, are a good example of it, where there would be services in the center of the neighborhood that are accessible within probably a 15-minute walk, and then surrounded by residential. So access to daily needs within 15 minutes, a bike ride, a 15-minute walk, bike ride, or having ready access to public transit. And then it also includes traffic calming. So on those thoroughfares where there are going to be, obviously, will always be cars, that the speed is slowed and it's more pedestrian friendly. And then access to public spaces. So having gathering places, third places is what you can call it, where people can gather and get together with neighbors. The current more car-centric design, however, and I think if you think of some of the major thoroughfares especially, you will understand this sense of insecurity where there's wide, multiple lanes, the traffic is going by fast, the sidewalk is right up against the street. I did have a video. We actually filmed a video walking down Main Avenue right on the east or west side of the university intersection, and that's going to be redone and redesigned, which is great. That sidewalk is horrible to walk on. It's very narrow, it's right up against the street, and there's even posts that are obstructions along that way. And there is a grocery store right down that street that a lot of people access, and so it's literally almost impossible to walk to. And then with a car-centric design, it's scaled for cars, not people. And hopefully you can see that in the two photos, the top photo being more of a car-centric kind of environment, and then the lower picture being much more, you can see, safe for pedestrians and bicyclists. It includes smaller streets, narrower streets with trees. So why is this important for a diverse community, which we are becoming more and more all the time? Car-centric cities, which are designed primarily around the needs of private automobiles, have disproportionately negative impacts on low-income communities and communities of color. And the way it has some negative impact: higher exposure to air and noise pollution, economic disadvantages where cars are expensive to own, and I'll go through that a little bit later. Limited access to opportunities, both social and employment, and inadequate public transportation. If a large portion of the population is dependent on cars, and that's how the city is designed, public transit becomes less important. Thirdly, health concerns. Part of the, especially my interest, I have a nursing background, and part of my interest in all of this is trying to get people to a healthier status, meaning get out and walk or bike, and decreasing obesity and diabetes, as well as heart disease, and that whole issue of anxiety and social isolation. Having access to third spaces that you can easily access will help to decrease that. Fourthly, the other impact are social inequities. Being safety concerns, increasing fatalities and injuries for bicyclists and pedestrians are happening. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but if I remember correctly, the fatalities for pedestrians has gone up tremendously, and I'm thinking it's around 30% or so. So it's, I don't know if that's related to more pedestrians out there, or if it's related to vehicles just not being quite as cognizant of their environment. And then another social inequality, which we've already talked about a bit, is reduced social interaction. And then finally, infrastructure-led segregation, where highways are actually cutting through neighborhoods that are lower income. There's small business harm, as well as residential properties are devalued. And if any of you are familiar with the Rondo neighborhood in St. Paul, that's a really good example of a very healthy, vibrant Black community that was building well. And then, a 6-lane interstate went right through the neighborhood and cut it apart. So they're trying to do some redesign of all of that to try to bring the neighborhood back together. But that's really tough after 4, 5, 6 decades of having that kind of separation. So the benefits, again, on the physical side, promoting active lifestyles, increasing health status, reducing the risk of chronic illnesses, and then just more activity so that it's built right into everyday life, and it's not oh, I need to bike 2 miles or 5 miles or whatever, walk 5 miles to get where I'm going. It's just built right in to your everyday life. Mental health, I've already talked about that. And then the financial benefits. So housing costs are typically a little bit higher and they rise faster than incomes. And all of us have seen this happen in the country where housing is becoming a bit out of reach for people, even on the rental side. Cost of car ownership. Now, this is 2023, and I just looked this up last night to get an updated number. Owning a car costs about little over $12,000 a year. So again, lower income, if you can cut that cost out of your expense side of the ledger, the better it is. And then you can see car-dependent households spend 15 to 25% of their income on transport. And walkability just frees up money for housing, savings, and other local spending. And then, in addition, so when you talked about mixed-use development and higher density kind of development, it generates more tax revenue per acre, so it's actually better for the city, lowers infrastructure costs, and small businesses thrive better in those pedestrian-friendly kind of neighborhoods. And then finally, just a little bit about what we're doing locally. We're doing some Safe Street advocacy. We've been studying the 10th University conversion, possible potential conversion from two-way to one-way, or I'm sorry, one-way to two-way. We're doing education, trying to get out and do presentations like this, as well as more community-related kind of presentations. And then we've been meeting with MetroCog and some of the city staff as well to try to explain what we're trying to do and how it might be incorporated into city processes. And that's about all I have. So if you have any questions or comments.
Thank you, Allard. Zach told me on the team you were the best, and you just proved that. So I will. Any questions from commission members?
Where does one get involved?
I'm sorry.
Where can someone get involved?
Let's see. Okay, so our email address is, oh dear, you're texting. How about if I get it to Sekou and you can send it out? I've got too many emails.
We can do that.
Okay.
I have I'll just say, I live by Davies High School. And part of the area, the walkability, the playgrounds and everything, beautifully designed. What you don't have out there, and we have 1 million apartment buildings all over the place, is transportation, public transportation. And as far as I've been kind of looking at this, and I think public transportation stops at 40th Avenue, except for 2 or 3 times a day when a bus goes to Walmart. And then the Walmart bus doesn't go through the neighborhoods on the way back. It just shoots back to 47th or 40th and goes wherever it goes. I don't know. But there are, and I know it's not your responsibility, but it is kind of pressuring the city. How do you get public transportation access? Because not everybody that lives in an apartment building has a car. How do you work to expand that or put the pressure on? I know it's expensive for the city, I know that, but it is an issue because of the development is going south and west, and that's not where you've got public transportation.
All good questions, which I don't have the answer to.
I'm just putting it out there.
Is this still pretty new or you're still like just getting this together, or is this? Are you
The local
yeah
group? Yeah.
Are you-
We've been in existence for about 1.5 years, maybe 2 almost. So we're still trying to get our feet in the ground and figure out what we can do and where we have the best influence of sorts. So we're still kind of in the formative stages. Is that what your question was?
Yeah, that's you answered it.
So, Carolyn, if I can just comment, I think a lot of this is just is culture. And I've had people actually say to me, well, who in the heck ever walks to get their groceries? It's the lack of understanding, I think, of some people just can't afford a car or choose not to have a car. And so being able to provide that opportunity where they can access those services by walking or biking and or even employment centers. So when you look at downtown is very walkable. It's a big employment center. But then you also have have to have the housing that supports that employee. So, the bigger vision is trying to build that in various parts of the city. And that takes decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just intrigued by your presentation. Just the fact that you are holistically addressing a bulk of the things that are needed within our Fargo Moorhead area. I applaud you for that. Unfortunately, we are pressed with time today, but you're one of the persons that I really look forward to having the opportunity to come back here another time so we can discuss these pressing issues that are, continuing in our society. I think you have a lot of good stuff in your project, and because of time, like I said, but I do look forward to working with you.
Yep, I did speak with Zach, and I've been, chatting, and he couldn't be here because he has another assignment. So we agree that they will come back again for the September meeting. So I'm going to make sure they are, because he's also out during the time of our August meeting. So I wanted to just bring the whole team again in September, because I was looking at the stats, and I can't get a specific number on Fargo, but North Dakota life expectancy right now is at 77.6. And I think strong towns is just something the city should get around, was, the arrival and proliferation of, internet around us is kind of helping to lower our life expectancy. Nobody wants to get out anymore. People just sit in their home, they order everything right online. It just comes and meets them, and obesity and health issues. We want to grow a city that is healthy, and I think strong towns is something that we can all get behind. And thank you for coming, Arlette. Hope to see you in September.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Nancy, do you have any contribution to this?
I will wait for questions until September.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
coming,
you.
Arlette. Great vision, great initiative, and I love it. I do. Time is, we really hard pressed on time. We have one more presentation. The City of Fargo Human Rights Commission, we want to start engaging with our community. If they can invite us, we can invite them, and we want to. I met somebody who has a wonderful app, and she was here before, who helped us to develop the website, inclusivefargoND.com, Crystal, and she's also developed another app that she shows me, and I think the HRC need to get that app. And on that app, when you have that app, you can know all the activities, every group in Fargo Moorhead that is hosting something, the date, the time, the venue. I don't know how she did it, but it's really cool. And I think we will try to get that app so we don't skip or miss out on any activities going on within our community. On that note, we want to bring on our next presentation from our community. We have the Liberian community here. Newsflash, the Liberian community in North Dakota is the largest immigrant community in the state of North Dakota, and the bigger population is right here in Fargo. The last research I did as of 2017, There are up to 4,700 Liberians in Fargo alone that are so they are here to present to us some of the things they've been working on, some of the challenges they're going through, and how they interact within our community. You're welcome. The president of the Liberian community and his team is here, Mr. Ebenezer Say. The floor is you guys.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Ebenezer Say, the president of the United Liberian Association in North Dakota. ULAN. I join you today by several members of my executive team, and we are here to share some important details about our upcoming Independence Day celebration, scheduled for July 19, 2025, / July 26, 2025. The July 19, we will be having our Liberian Independence Day indoor program. And the July 26, we will be having our soccer team. And this soccer, we will be playing our game in Morehead High School. As many of you know, Liberian community is present the larger minority group in the state of North Dakota. Despite our growing presence, we currently lack a dedicated space to gather, celebrate our heritage, and provide mentorship opportunity for our youth. This year, our Independence Day program is not only celebration of our nation's history, it is also a call to action. Our goal is to raise $50,000 to establish a community center that will serve Liberians residing in North Dakota and Morehead, Minnesota. This center will be a cornerstone for cultural enrichment, education initiative, social engagement. More importantly, it will foster unity, pride, and mental support within our community. Beyond serving Liberians, this center will also provide a welcoming space for collaborations and engagement with other African communities in Fargo-Moorhead area, strengthening a bond across cultures and promoting shared growth. We are respectively appealing to our cities, state, federal panel, as well as human rights organizations and advocates to support this initiative through financial contribution. Your generosity will help us create a lasting legacy of diversity, equity, inclusion, empowerment, and cultural preservation. Thank you very much for all your help, your time, and your support that have been running to us. Thank you very much. If you had a question.
Thank you.
And he's going to elaborate on the soccer team a little bit.
I'm Hafiz Sana.
Thank you. You can raise the mic. Yep.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
So my name is Hafiz Sana, and I'm the project lead for the 2025 IEM Barre Library Independence celebration. We are all working collectively as a team on our community center, and it's very vital for us. I will give an example for myself. My father arrived in May, and I've been running around with him. I'm the only person running around with him. It's his first time in the United States in North Dakota. So from his social security to job to his driver license, all those appointments, I have to set it up and run around with him, take time off from work to do this. So I think a city hall for us Liberian immigrant who will come, having somewhere that we can all go to, rely on, like take our parents, friends, girlfriend, wife, where they can get the support that is not affect our time as well. So we are here today, and every contribution, every proceed from the game on Saturday, July 26th, will be going to ULAND towards our community project because we see the impact it will bring to us. We see the development, the changes, and more importantly, our community engagement as a whole.
Thank you. Any questions, interaction?
Yeah, so we firstly want to commend you guys for making your presence fair here at this meeting. Quick question. As you rightly stated, you are most likely one of the fastest growing immigrant community within our midst in Fargo here. And you also made mention of the establishment of a community center or community hall. So my first question to be, given your role or involvement as the fastest growing immigrant community, what are some of your involvement directly within the community as a whole, Fargo as a whole, and what are some of the impacts you are making in other immigrants community that are growing within this setting? Because by virtue of the fact that you host or have present within this community, that means you should have some substantial influences for other communities. So what are you doing that impact that? Now, my second question, because of time, will be, what is the essential purpose of this community center that you are trying to establish? Is it just for the Liberian community, or does it have involvement with integrations with other community as well?
Thank you very much. When you talk about my involvement within the community, we have done a lot. And first thing, I will go to Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead, Minnesota. When we came here, there was issue with diversity, and we had serious issue with the police relationship in the community. And the Liberian community and also other African community have serious issue with the police department here. And for example, if they go for the program, they would just kind of shut them down. So when I got involved as a president, I was able to meet with the city of Fargo. I was able to meet with Moorhead and West Fargo Police Department, met with Tim Hunting, the city mayor of Fargo, and the city mayor of the three metro cities. I met with them and talked to them. One of the issues was that they are probably having Liberian was talking loud, because Liberian having conversation, they felt that they are having argument among themselves, and then they will always call police something like, okay, they are arguing, so police going to shut their event down. Now, at this movement, our community is growing gradually, and when it comes to Liberian community itself, Liberian were not together. What we used to observe was Liberian two organizations will be having program the same day. So what I did, I designed what I call a calendar event. That if today is this organization day to have program, the rest of the organization will go to support the organization, and none of them will have program that day. And when your second question is what we intend to do. I have been receiving a lot of calls from the Fargo Police Department. There's an area here called Ember Park. Ember Park. It's a community, and it's an apartment complex. I think there have been a lot of shooting there, and Liberians have killed one another there. And we have taken the responsibility. The gentleman sitting down back there, Christian Sampson and myself, we go there summertime and mentor the kids. The doors are came from jail. So our problem here is that we have nowhere. We had the opportunity, they listened to us, but we want to invite them somewhere where would be the center to ask them, gentlemen, this is not what to do. Don't cause trouble, don't do drugs, don't kill human beings, and they want to listen to us, but we have nowhere to go. So this community center is going to help the life of the people, the Black, the African people here. I just mentioned in my statement, it's not only for Liberian, but it is about all African nationalities too as well. They're going to jump us for we ought to work together.
Almost like a place to recharge or like rest for people who don't really have a place to go, or like is this going to be kind of like a sort of refuge?
So it's going to be. So let me just answer you. This community center going to be where we have computer. We have a lot of stuff that he just mentioned about your father's social security issues. We have a lot of Liberian. They don't know how to use a computer. So when they go to job service, the job service is going to ask them, okay, go on the computer, create your own account. And they don't know how to create their own account. We had a computer analyst, and the guy sitting over there, he know the computer the best. We will have people like this. I will be there to be helping our librarian with resume, building a resume, helping them with application, helping them with immigration paperwork and other things. And he does that to help people a lot. So they're where it's going to be. So it's not going to just be play where to go and just sit and play. No, it will be resourceful.
To elaborate on that, it would be
No, it's they want to.
No, awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
to elaborate on that. The center will be more focused on building soft skills for librarians that are coming, not just librarian, but the community as well. Education, as you mentioned, literacy is very important. Coming from a third world country, it's very difficult for most people to understand you, and it takes a while for you to adapt into a new system. We also have a sporting center there. As Africans, we are very powerful with sporting. I'll speak for myself. We have a soccer league that now keeps a lot of my peers off the street because they go to practice from Monday to Friday and then they play the game on Sunday. So that is very diverse. We even have a Latino team play in it. So that center will also be a place where we can invite people of culture to make them understand what they need and provide further support into that.
Thank you, guys.
So if I am hearing you correctly, you need a center that will be like a one-stop shop for community engagement, empowerment, skills acquisition, where you can facilitate the movement of some of those programs, social services, and where people can come in and they can have access to a ton of resources.
Yes.
Something like that. I think that would be good for the community
Yes.
because most immigrant, that's what we've been doing with the new American population, older new American population, people who come from other countries. We've been working with the Lutheran Social Services to help them, especially when it comes to getting driver's license. I have so many of those complaints. People can drive, but they have to first do the computer test.
Yeah.
And they don't know computer, the language barrier. So you train people in all those places. And I think-
We are appealing to our community people, our community advocates, the state, the federal government, the cities. On the 19th, we will be doing this fundraiser. If you have anything to contribute towards our community center, we will appreciate you. If anybody here want to reach out to me, I don't have a card with me, but if you talk to Aaron or Salif, they all have my phone number. Or if you want my phone number before I leave, I can give you my phone number to communicate with me. If you want my email, I can give you my email as well. So at least we all can work together. I enjoy the speaker back there who was speaking about home, the apartment, and I will get his number too to talk to him because we've been having a lot of issues in the community when it comes to apartment issues. And I have met with this human right before when the first chairman was here. We met downtown and the other building, we discussed it, but at this point, and I met with you today, I'm going to get your numbers and I will be able to visit your office.
Thank you for coming. So you have two events coming up on the 19th
On the 26th.
and the 26th.
Yes.
Okay.
I would highly encourage every one of you to come on the 26th so you can experience the full culture of the Liberian community.
Thank you. We will have you again to come to talk to us more about this community center. I think you need to engage with the city.
Where can we find the event or the address?
Yes.
Sorry.
You should have brought some of the flyers.
Yes,
and share with us.
Or you can just say it on
We
here.
will get you guys, we will get, he going to get a flyer and give it and share with you people.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right. We are meeting right now. So we are right up to our next item on the agenda. We want to go through this quickly. Administrative updates. Do we have any administrative updates?
I do
Brenda?
not have any updates. For those that weren't able to join for the agenda setting meeting, though, we do need to talk about our August meeting. I will be out for a couple of weeks, so I will be returning right before the meeting. So I will not be able to support preparing for that meeting. So a couple options I threw out there is we could look at more of a strategic meeting that if there's some items you would like to discuss amongst yourself, that we could do a strategic meeting in the Meadowlark room like we've done before. Otherwise, I would ask that the next meeting be in September.
What do you think, commission members? Do we do strategic planning for August and then commission meeting in September?
I would say September.
September.
Yeah. We have a lot of back to school stuff for school board, so I would say September.
Okay. Looks like we have a consensus here. And so, yep, we will use August for strategic planning. And even if Brenda's out of town, we can we can meet online, send out a link, and we can still have some discussion, or we can choose to meet in person. But we'll work that out with Brenda. Thank you.
Sounds good, thanks.
What about, we still have one vacant seat on the commission. We need to fill that seat. Any, have we started receiving any application? When do we start to replace that seat?
So we do have some applications on hand that I will get to you, Saku. And I did get confirmation from everyone. So on Monday, I guess, thank you for reminding me. On Monday, we will have the reconfirmation of the positions that were up at the end of July, or at the beginning of July.
Good. And then Nancy, Kristen, we can set up some interviews. Okay, thank you. All right, we're almost at the end of the meeting for today. It's time for public comments. Those who wish to address the HRC must use the sign-up sheet, and you will be limited to 2.5 minutes to address the Human Rights Commission. Your comments should not include any personal attack, profanities. Is there anybody that signed up for public comments today?
Yes, we do have one gentleman. You can go over there.
You're welcome.
Thank you, commissioners, for allowing me a moment here to speak. I'm here to address the Human Rights Commission that July is Disability Awareness Month. Some of us in the disability community celebrate this month in recognition of the Olmsted decision, a landmark Supreme Court ruling that guaranteed choice of services and integration of services for people with disabilities. As such, each July, our community comes together to bring awareness to and the importance of continuing the fight for disability rights, and also the importance of appropriate and individualized services and full inclusion in community life. Perhaps the Human Rights Commission would consider recognizing July as Disability Awareness Month and issue a proclamation stating that fact. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Sekou, before we adjourn, I'd like to ask Brenda something.
Yes.
I know that you're going through budget cuts, and I think I read in the paper that the planning department offered up MLK Day and Juneteenth for budget cuts. Is that correct?
So yes, we were asked to do a low and medium and moderate. And so social services was on that budget line item. There have not been any decisions made, but we're starting to go through line by line.
I thought I should bring it up for the rest of the
Thank you. Yep.
commission.
Any, okay. Is there any other business that we have to discuss? Okay. If there's nothing, okay, I see a hand. Yes.
Would the commission consider recognizing July?
I don't think we can make this.
Can you come to the mic so we hear you better?
Yes, we could, I recommend it.
I was just going to ask if the commission wanted to make a formal recognition of July being Disability Awareness Month.
It seems to me that it would be I would make a motion that we forward to this
The city commission?
city commission as a whole to make a proclamation and awardance of
So
Disability Month.
just so we're aware too, there is a process through the mayoral website to request proclamations made also. So I'm just a little, I
guess
think
he
you can
went
make the
through-
motion and then
well,
we can.
we could come back on it. I don't know if I would feel comfortable making that or saying.
Yeah, but we're not, I mean, we're not deciding it. We
Yeah.
we could make the motion, vote on that, and send it up to the city commission. And they can talk on that. It may
So-
not take effect this year, but they could make that for next.
So I think there's a form, so I can,
Yeah.
I can connect with them and there's a form that they fill out and
Oh,
there's a
perfect.
whole process
Okay.
that we already have in place.
Thank you.
So
Thank
that means we can forward
I'll
him
withdraw
to.
my motion.
Yeah.
I'll withdraw my
thank you.
motion.
Yes.
Over to you.
Yes, so please follow up with the city administrators and you can start the process from there. I would love to see that, take effect. I mean, it takes some time, so I don't know if that might be possible for this year, July, but maybe we can follow up with that and they can issue that for next year going forward. Thank you. Is there any other business? This meeting of the Human Rights Commission stands adjourned. Our next meeting will be September. Thank you for coming and thank you for spending some time with us. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you, Chair.